I would pick the following three. Number one, solve the unemployment problem. In a sense, it's the most urgent one we have. If the private sector, and here I'm paraphrasing Franklin Roosevelt in the 30s, if the private sector either cannot or will not provide the work for millions of Americans who want the work, then it's the job of the government to do it because no one else is. And if I were president, I would follow Roosevelt and immediately create and fill millions, I'm talking 15 to 20 million jobs in the United States right away. Number two, I would make it what some have called a Green New Deal. That is, the major thing these people would be doing would be to deal with the environmental crisis that we have, to change the way we use energy, for example, just to give one, to give us the proper mass transportation system that advanced countries in other parts of the world already have that we ought to have. Millions of people could go to work producing that system and give us a way to move our goods and move our people around the society using less oil and gas, with less damage of injury and death, the way our car-driven system has, with less pollution of our environment. Here's a way to benefit people on many scales while we put to work those who want to work with the raw materials and tools that are available. And the third thing I would do is take a page from Italy. Yes, Italy, who passed a law in 1985 called the Marcora Law, which said the following wonderful thing. If you're unemployment, you have a choice in Italy. You don't just have to collect your weekly unemployment check the way we do here in the United States. You have an option. If you get together with 10 other unemployed workers and you agree to do the following thing, the government will give you 3 years of your unemployment payments up front, right now in a lump sum. What you have to agree to is that together with at least 10 other people, you're going to start your own cooperative business, which you all together work. The feeling in Italy was if you give people a chance to own and operate their own business collectively, they'll be more committed to it, more invested in it, more likely to make a go of it than simply collecting a check. And meanwhile, they'll be producing things, and they'll feel better about themselves, and they'll have a more productive role in the community. If you give everybody a vested interest in their enterprise, they work harder, they work better, because it's theirs. They're not just working for the man, they are working for themselves, which is a dream Americans have had way back from the beginning. 6 years ago, the United States was less unequal than the capitalisms in Europe. Now we are more unequal. So yes, it is possible to have capitalism with a much more human face than the ones we have here in the United States and in Britain particularly, where we have allowed things to go in a very different direction.
But isn't Italy in a mess today? We all know about the Euro crisis. Those governments are in trouble. Austerity is being imposed throughout the Mediterranean area. We have this explosion with Cyprus, explosion of fear with Cyprus being bailed out and the depositors in the banks having to contribute to the cost of bailing out. A tiny island threatens to bring the Euro system down again.
Absolutely, and that Cyprus story is extremely important. Even though it's a very small country and people might not pay attention because it is small. Here is the austerity program of raising taxes and cutting government spending, taking a qualitative new step to help bail out a capitalism that hasn't worked in Europe and that has crippled this little country of Cyprus. The step taken to try to fix the problem is to literally reach into the private insured bank accounts of people in the local banks in Cyprus and take money out of it to pay for fixing this broken system. For all working people, and not just in Europe, here in the United States too, this should be a wake-up call if you still need one, that we're in a situation where the most dire, unexpected, unimaginable steps are being taken to fix a system that keeps resisting being fixed, so that we are required now to dip into people's checking accounts and literally take the money away.